Hey guys, it is MissSimReno. If you are returning to the channel, welcome back. And if you are brand new, I am so excited that you decided to join me here today for another speed build. And I am still on my Harry Potter kick. And let me just say right up front, this is probably the build that I am the most proud of to date. I'm just going to put that out there. I hope that you guys enjoy it as well, but I, honest to God, thought that I did not have the skill set to do this. I was like, there's no way I can do this justice. I feel like there are builders out there who could do like a much better job at replicating the Burrow from the Harry Potter series than I could. But I wanted to try, and when I was done with it, I was honestly really taken aback by how it came out. I was really proud of myself, and I wanted to state that because I don't often feel exceptionally proud of a lot of my builds. So this one was like, I don't know, this one's super special to me and I just absolutely love it. So I hope that you guys enjoy it too. But as you can see, the shape is coming together now. So if you guys have seen the Harry Potter movies, you have seen the Burrow, and it's kind of like this stacked, jerry-rigged, like really tall cottage in the middle of nowhere, like in a field near, I think like a little pond or like a bog or something technically. I don't really remember how it was described in the book. I'm actually in the middle of rereading the first book right now, and I'm getting close to the end, so I'll be moving on to the Chamber of Secrets, which means that I will be introduced to the Burrow very soon. But I think I kind of came really close to what a lot of the reference pictures looked like, because I was looking at reference pictures not only from the movies, but also like fan art and stuff like that. And it's so neat because this is the kind of building that has a lot of different interpretations. You can really exercise a lot of, I don't know, creative license. You can really exercise a lot of creative license with it and really make it your own, because it's just such a whimsical, kind of weird looking place. So as you can see, I am working out a majority of the floor plan here, or at least the external structure. We'll do the floor plan in a second, but I was kind of thinking of the floor plan while I was building it because I knew there had to be a certain amount of rooms that I was going for. So what I did with the Weasley family, because we all know that there are 7 kids and the 2 parents, Arthur and Molly, but I was kind of thinking of making the Burrow for the kids that are at home when we kind of start the series. Actually, I ignored Percy because I think he stinks, but that's beside the point. I made rooms for Arthur and Molly, a room for Fred and George, a room for Ginny, and a room for Ron, and that was pretty much it. So I ignored Percy, I ignored Bill and Charlie, and I pretty much just went off of what we've been shown in the movies, and then added, like, took some kind of creative license to create, you know, like the parents' room and stuff like that. So I really liked it, and the outside structure is pretty much together at this point. The window placement was so random because if you guys haven't seen it, there's just windows kind of everywhere and placed so randomly, like kind of going up staircases and stuff. And the first thing I knew I wanted to do is I wanted to use ladders, because using stairs in a build like this would be really hard. I have a feeling people have done it, because I know I'm not the first person to try to replicate the Burrow in The Sims 4, but since we have ladders, I was like, there's no freaking way I am using stairs, because stairs are going to just take up way too much space. It's pretty much going to throw off the kind of floor plan I had in mind, and when I play tested it, every single ladder worked perfectly fine, so you can access every single level of this home and every single room, which is really exciting. So first I kind of pick out flooring, and then I was trying to pick out wallpaper. I was originally going to go with kind of like a stone interior, because there were portions of it that looked kind of like stone, kind of like dirt, but then I just kind of went for a wood paneling that I thought worked. And the first room I wanted to work on was the kitchen, because that is my favorite room in the Burrow, like the kitchen and living room combination, because it's kind of a circle, like in this little octagon here. They're supposed to be very connected. I added an archway just for the sake of the layout, but I knew I wanted to work on the kitchen. The first thing I wanted to do was make sure I had like the little door off to the sideway that Arthur Weasley pops in the second movie in the morning, and then that brings you right into the kitchen area where kind of Molly's preparing some things. Everyone's sitting down at the long table with the mismatched chairs, and it's just my favorite. I've actually also been, I kind of mentioned it over on Twitter only once, but it's seriously been part of my day-to-day at this point. If you guys have not checked out ASMR Weekly and ASMR Rooms, these two creators are on YouTube, and they do like these cinematographic, I think that's the word, cinematographic visuals of different areas in like Hogwarts and other kind of fantasy worlds, and they have created like ASMR rooms. So it's so peaceful. I listen to them while I work. I listen to them sometimes while I build, and I definitely listened to a few Harry Potter ones and kind of had the visual off to the side as I was making this to really kind of set the ambiance, if you will. As you can see, I've pretty much situated the kitchen. I used these kind of like rustic, kind of industrial, but more so rustic countertops and like this older fridge and like the wood burning stove, because I haven't really determined if the Burrow has some form of electricity. If we're really going to get down to the nitty gritty of it, like I really don't think they do. I think all of the lanterns and whatnot are just powered by magic. Like that's what I'm assuming. So I tried to be minimal with the pieces that looked almost like too modern or connected to the Muggle world. And here I sized down one of the huge cauldrons that we got with Realm of Magic and placed it on the counter. And I put the little like cauldron light show object that we have inside of it because I was thinking of kind of turning it on for screenshots and whatnot, but it looked really weird, so I ended up getting rid of it. But I love the different chairs that I ended up using at the table, and this chandelier from Vampire Stuff was absolutely perfect for this build. It didn't look too medieval. In fact, it looked really charming and just really sweet, and oh, I just love the kitchen. It's so homey and nice. And then I move on to the living room, which, like I said, I kind of took some creative liberties with the layout and kind of the floor plan just a little tiny bit, because this was all supposed to be like one big round room. And then there's kind of a fireplace in the center and a staircase right near, I think like right near the kitchen, that kind of like winds up to all of the different floors, which I couldn't really replicate. So I ended up just kind of doing what I'm doing here. And in the living room, there's just like a bunch of like cushy like chairs and like little poofs and a couch and stuff like that. So I kind of went with older looking furniture, I suppose. And they have like these standing candle holders and this palette, I think it's what it is, right? A palette, like coffee table, just stuff that looks kind of homemade, a little bit, and I say this complimentary, like a little bit run down, a little bit older, more so like hand-me-down items. I also placed that photo of Brightchester because I was thinking it kind of looks like Hogwarts Castle. Not exactly, but like it kind of does, so I was trying to include little details like that. I also used some of these like more so worn out rugs, like these older rugs that maybe have been passed down through their, their wizarding families, stuff like that. And then I decided to kind of toss a few different items that had, I don't know, meaning to me, but maybe not meaning to the family itself in a way. I don't really know, but I put the bowling pin there because for those of you who don't remember, Arthur Weasley works in the misuse of Muggle artifacts office. So he collects like a bunch of Muggle items that he thinks are fascinating, and I thought the bowling pin would be one of those weird ones that he may have acquired. I was gonna put a rubber duck and I completely forgot until right now, so I'll have to do it before I upload this to the gallery for you guys to download, because one of the questions that he asks Harry when he first meets him in the second movie is what exactly is the function of a rubber duck. So there has to be a rubber duck somewhere here. I have to place it somewhere and I don't really know where yet. But I went ahead and placed this fireplace on an angle. It's a little bit awkward because it does really jut out from the wall more than I wanted, and it kind of creates this weird angle over here near the window, but you know what? The whole home is kind of at a quote-unquote weird angle, so I kind of ignored it, and I thought it still worked because I wanted there to be these higher armchairs that maybe Arthur and Molly kind of hang out in near the fire in the evening. I added a couple potions and a few other miscellaneous decorations that we did get with Realm of Magic, which was really just the perfect pack for something like this. And I also hang a couple of brooms throughout the build. I think there's 2 of them downstairs on this main floor near the front door, and then there's a couple of them up in some of the kids' rooms because obviously Fred and George are beaters on the Gryffindor Quidditch team, and Ron is very much into Quidditch. Ginny plays as well, I know, but I think for kind of like the time period that I was thinking here, is when they were a little bit younger, maybe like right before Ron went off to Hogwarts himself. So I don't know how much Ginny was really flying since she's a little bit younger than him. I then add this stand that looks like it has like this open spell book that we got with vampire stuff. And I use that bookcase from Realm of Magic as well because there are a lot of spell books and like tomes and stuff that come with it, which is just absolutely perfect for this build. I then move upstairs to the second level, and this level in its entirety is Arthur and Molly's bedroom. And you will notice that basically all of the rooms are connected. So since I couldn't make a central stairway that all of the rooms could kind of be off of, every single room is connected. So if you're going to go all the way to the top to Ron's room, you're going through pretty much every single person's bedroom. I feel like it's just the nature of this home in a lot of ways. Not to quote Malfoy, but to quote Malfoy, doesn't your family live in one room? Kind of, sort of. They at least have to be very invasive and walk through everyone's room all the time. But I am decorating their room now, and they have like a painting easel. Maybe Molly likes to paint. I don't know, I was just trying to think of some other skill building items that they could have in their home. I also use the suitcase with all the books stacked on top of it a few separate times throughout this build just because I think it's the perfect clutter item for a home like this. And they have a dresser and just like a couch in the corner there. And I realized their bedroom is actually the only bedroom that doesn't have a fireplace, because I give a fireplace to every other child in this house, but I didn't give Molly and Arthur one, which I probably could. That console table with the plant, kind of where the painting easel is, I could probably have put a fireplace there, but I actually kind of like it without one. And then I also used a couple of different doors throughout this build because I feel like the whole thing with the Burrow is that this place doesn't really match. You know what I mean? Like nothing really matches. Everything is handed down and collected and a little bit older, but it's all so cozy and has a lot of character, which is what I love about the Burrow in the first place. And now I am working on Fred and George's room. I was thinking that that painting there was of Hogwarts or maybe leading into like Hogsmeade. And I also used a couple of these pendants and posters from Discover University. Since the Hogwarts colors, since the Gryffindor colors are gold and crimson, I thought that the Brightchester pendants kind of worked. And that kind of like anti-Foxbury one, or actually, no, I'm sorry, that's anti-Ubright, because that's like the dragon, that's the mascot for Ubright. It kind of looked like a serpent to me. I was trying to stretch the imagination a little bit, so it was kind of like anti-Slytherin, that kind of thing. And then I put that postcard, I'm like the most proud of that. I put this postcard of Egypt, or I think it's technically supposed to be the Egypt-inspired world from The Sims 3, but I placed that above their dresser because of the third book / movie when they win that trip to Egypt. I thought it was kind of like nodding my head a little bit, tipping my hat to some kind of lore that was in Harry Potter that I could bring forth in The Sims. So I was really excited about doing that. I thought that that was kind of clever. I'm not gonna lie. I add a couple of wand boxes here as well and toss in some wands. So those are Fred and George's wands. And I did give Ron a wand as well, but when I made, because I like physically made the Weasley family after I did this because I was so excited. I made the Weasleys and I made Ron a child because I did want there to be the distinction with Fred and George being teenagers at the time. So Ron and Ginny are both kids because Ginny definitely isn't like a toddler. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't really stretch the ages too much. So Ron can't use the wand that's in his room, but he has one anyway. And now I'm working on Ginny's bedroom. So like I said, she does have a fireplace here and I did make it really cozy. I did use some purples and pinks, which I was trying to kind of shy away from originally. I was going to go more so like red. I thought that that would be a good color, but I don't know. I did want it to kind of stand out a little bit as more of a feminine room, I suppose. Even though Ginny, you know, she's a pretty complex character to me and I don't think that she got the best representation that she could have in the movies compared to the books. I'm just going to put that out there. So I don't know. She is very feminine, but she's also very strong. I mean, she's very much like Hermione in that way to me. And I'm not going to go into so much analysis of the characters here, but I was thinking that she was a little bit younger. So this kind of felt more so like a youthful room as well. It was really what I was going for. So she has like that little My Sim doll that's like a little witch. I was thinking maybe it was McGonagall because that's funny to me. And she just has a bunch of clutter and like some books and posters. And then I found that poster that I briefly put upstairs in Ron's room It looked more so like a soccer trophy because it came with Discover University, but I was thinking it was the Quidditch Cup, the Quidditch World Cup to be exact, so I was really stoked about that. I also used this bed from Discover University because it has the gold and crimson color scheme, and I think, if I'm remembering this correctly, it's been a long time since I've read the books now. I try to read them every year, but I've missed a couple years already. I think his favorite team is the Chudley Cannons. And I think that their colors are more so like that poster that I just hung up with the soccer ball. So I was thinking that this was kind of like Ron's Chudley Cannons inspired bedroom. I don't know if I did it that much justice, but I really, really tried. And Ron doesn't have too many things in his room. He's got a bookcase, fireplace. He ends up actually having a stereo, which I know in the Wizarding world he probably wouldn't have. He wouldn't have one, at least not the one that I gave him, which I feel really silly because the one that I gave him isn't the right one. Like, I could have given him another one that probably would have matched a little bit better. I also gave him a broom, and he has just like an older broom. It kind of looks like a standard broom rather than, I don't know, a racing broom. Fred and George have the more, I guess, up-to-date or like newer models of brooms, where Ron has the older hand-me-down ones, right? Because he's the sixth kid and the sixth boy. Yeah, the sixth boy, because Ginny's the only girl. And we never see bathrooms really in Harry Potter unless we're in Moaning Myrtle's bathroom. So I had to give them at least one bathroom, which was kind of challenging because I didn't really know where it would go. But it's off of Fred and George's bedroom. So yeah, your Sims do have to climb multiple ladders to get to the bathroom, which is a little annoying, but for the sake of this build, I thought it worked. And now I am finally working on the landscaping, so I didn't actually situate this lot near kind of like a bog like it is in the movies. I just wanted to make it look like it was somewhat in the forest, somewhat, I don't know, secluded, right? And this is built in, what's it called? Glimmerbrook. Forgot to mention that. This was built in Glimmerbrook. I can never say that without stumbling over it. And I kind of placed this well, which isn't functional, but it came with Get Famous out in the front. And I just wanted it to look kind of overgrown, just really, really cozy. Like, cozy is the only word I can think of. It just looks so homey and warm, and I adore it so, so much, and I wish I could go to the Burrow, to be frank. One of my goals, and I keep mentioning it to my fiance, is I want to go to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter so badly. I have been wanting to go since it opened years and years ago. Like, I was one of those people that watched the live stream of it opening. That's how excited I was to actually go there. And I still have not gone there. I actually lived in Florida for a couple of months too, and I still didn't go. Yep, that's where it's at. I still didn't go. So I keep dropping hints that I would like to go very, very soon. Maybe not in the midst of everything that's going on right now, because I definitely want to be safe and courteous of others, but I really want to go. Like, hopefully in the near future, I can finally get my butt to Harry Potter World and feel as though I have finally gone to Hogwarts, where I think I belong. I'm just saying, I think my record definitely got lost in the Battle of Hogwarts in 1998, and I should probably be there. If you feel the same way, definitely let me know. Classmates. For sure. But now I'm working out the rest of the landscaping and adding a couple of decorations. So they have a bee box. They also have a couple of planter boxes. And I added this debug car that was supposed to be the flying Ford Anglia that Harry and Ron take to Hogwarts in the second book/movie. I thought that was kind of a nice touch as well. They also have the little bug box and just a few other activities outside because I do think they're pretty self-sufficient. I really, really liked how cozy and magical this whole place looked. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this. I cannot wait to hear your thoughts on this one. We are approaching the end of the video very, very soon. So thank you guys so, so much for checking this out. And I will catch you guys next time I post a video, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.